Prefer when I'm by myself. I don't wanna hang around y'all. Pray for good health.
And what's up, everybody? We are live, and today with me are the boys and the titos of fighting. We got JC Reyes and PH Boxing Corners John Yambao. Please follow them all on social media. What's up, everybody? I hope if you can listen to all of us, if our audio's messed up, please put it in the comment section. Let us know what you think. And welcome to everyone who's watching and listening to all of us from all over the world. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube. Now, we are going to give you a recap of what happened in the world of combat sports. And we are going to discuss the winning points. Ano ba yung mga chismis? Ano ba yung... I mean, what are the talking points and the points of victory of all the winners? So, together with me is, of course, JC Reyes of Destroy MNL. And again, John Yambao of PH Boxing Corner. Titos of Fighting, what's up? How is everyone?
Okay naman. Ganda ng weekend natin.
Oo,
Sobrang
grabe.
daming, especially the Fury Wilder, kapag the end to the
Sabi ko nga,
trilogy.
parang ano, kailangan natin magpahinga doon. Grabe. Grabe yung laban na yun. Grabe yung laban na yun.
Oo.
JC, teka lang, ayusin natin. Okay ba yung audio ni JC? Everyone, if you have we would like to hear you out. Okay, we would love to have your participation here. So please let us know what you think in the comment section. Okay, all your violent reactions. Did you agree? Did you disagree? What were ano bang saloobin natin sa lahat ng mga nangyari? It's pretty interesting, and one of the things na maganda sa nangyari over the weekend is medyo nag-balance out siya for us because there were weekends and there were so many other events that happened na overwhelmed din kami na parang ano bang panunuorin natin? Ano bang unahin natin, di ba? So, first off, let's recap what happened in the UFC. Like, perhaps it's the only eventful match for me, at least for me. So we were able to get tawag ito? Let's recap the women's strawweight division main event: Mackenzie Dern versus Marina Rodriguez. So Mackenzie Dern is 11-2. So that's 11 wins, 2 losses. Marina Rodriguez is 15-1-2. It's an eye opener. It's a good way to assess where Mackenzie Dern is at right now, because for me he's one of the rising superstars of the UFC. She's big in the jiu-jitsu world, okay, in the jiu-jitsu community, in terms of grappling. Multiple time world champion, ADCC veteran, like all of these prestigious grappling tournaments, Mackenzie Dern has probably won or participated in all of them. So it's very, ako personally, I'm very happy to see someone with her caliber to finally barge into the UFC. And it was a step by step thing. I mean, hindi naman siya yung there was hype. There was hype for her, pero it was within the jiu-jitsu community. Like, everyone else kind of knew na parang okay, she's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, diba? Okay, she probably doesn't know how to strike. And with each fight, nag-i-improve siya. With each fight, nagpro-progress. So, JC, if you were able to, what were your initial thoughts dun sa nangyari sa laban na yon?
Well, of course, we saw that just because you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu doesn't mean you're gonna excel in MMA right away. Kasi, I mean, si Marina Rodriguez is a jiu-jitsu purple belt that's a purple belt versus a black belt, pero this is MMA. So, ibig sabihin, I mean, iba yung dalaw eh. I mean, in jiu-jitsu, we just practice lahat. Puro ground game eh. Pero this time, may strikes. Hindi naman masyado pinapractice sa BJJ yung how to defend a strike eh. Usually, how to defend another technique, submission. Ganun ang ginagawa eh. So, this one, mukhang for sure maraming natutunan dito si Mackenzie Dern. Kasi, good pa nga tong loss para sa kanya kasi she knows which part of her game she needs to improve on.
I totally agree. And for everyone's watching and listening, The closest thing you could ever see probably to an MMA match is combat jiu-jitsu. So combat jiu-jitsu naman
Yes.
is it's high level grappling plus you're allowed open palm strikes. So to echo the point of JC, yun nga dito mo makikita yung differences or the nuances of pure grappling versus MMA. Malaking factor talaga yung element of strikes. Okay, you are not just worried about submissions or getting advancements in different dominant positions, pero nag-iiba yung dynamics when it comes to dealing with strikes, di ba? Yeah, so you're not only grappling for position, you're not only scrambling to get a more dominant position, pero siyempre pinag-iisipan mo pa rin, ano ba, pag sinipa ako,
Yeah.
tinuhod ako, sinuntok ako,
Mhm.
siniko ako, there's so many things at play. That makes MMA or mixed martial arts a very dynamic
Mhm.
sport talaga. Sobrang ano niya, there are so many facets to this. One thing that it was really impressive was of course the pedigree of jiu-jitsu ni Mackenzie Dern,
Mhm.
but when we go to the other side, when it comes to Marina Rodriguez's camp and her strategy, 'di ba? She was able to negate uh so many clinch situations. As in there were so many instances wherein Mackenzie Dern would set up her shots. As in medyo nag-improve yung striking niya, pero I
Mhm.
think we need a little bit more wrestling. Ako for me, she just needs a little bit more wrestling kasi when the fight went to the ground, I mean, she dominated. As in, wala. Omoplatas, got the
Mhm.
back, a little bit of semi-crucifix position. She almost got an armbar using her legs. This is high-level jiu-jitsu at its finest. Diba? It was in total display during that fight.
Yes.
However, Marina Rodriguez just had the better game plan. Diba? She
Mhm.
didn't, diba? Umiwas siya and her striking was really, really good. It was on point. Na ang daming, I mean, it exposed the lack of experience and striking proficiency ni Mackenzie Dern. So, I mean, totally agree with JC. This is going to be a really good learning experience for Mackenzie Dern towards her next fights. So, pretty amazing matchup. I like the way it turned out. I mean, really good trivia. A lot of the women, or if not, parang lahat ata ng awards Fight of the night,
Mhm.
yung
Parang
post-fight bonuses, lahat babae ang nanalo. So,
Mhm.
so it's very interesting. It was a great night for women. And then, I mean, let's get right into this. It's like the main event of the weekend. Okay,
Mhm.
it was the culmination of trash talks. It was the culmination of so
Grabe 'to.
sa akin lang ang pangit tong countdown. Did you guys enjoy the countdown? Naabutan niyo ba yung countdown? Ikaw, Jan, naabutan mo ba yung countdown for this one? Yung Wilder Fury na ano?
Hindi ko na abutin yung countdown.
Okay lang, bro. Ang ginawa nila, parang 3-part series na tigta 10 minutes or 11 minutes. Tapos, puro ad. Parang wala man lang, ano lang, nag-interview lang, pinakita lang, nagbubuhat si Deontay. Tapos,
Ah,
Tyson, nagmimits. Di ba?
Pilit
I
na
mean,
24/7.
yeah,
maganda yung
dude.
24/7 eh. Iba pa rin yun eh. Yung HBO
Oo, iba
Sobra
production.
ganda
talaga.
ng HBO series. I mean, HBO has been really at the forefront of these things. Ako
Mhm.
nami-miss ko yung mga 24/7 kasi the narration, 'di ba, the
Ah,
storytelling, sobrang ano 'di ba?
yung,
It was totally ito parang di mo alam parang promo yung parang mga hindi sportsman yung ano, parang hindi sportsman yung gumawa Parang oh, 'di ba? Oh, ayan no. Yan. Coach Franco, hindi ako to si ano to. This is Coach Franco from Better Living. So, yan yung mga bagay, yung mga nuances natin. So, let's go to Deontay
Mhm.
Wilder versus Tyson Fury, ending their trilogy. Okay, this was the
Sa
third
wakas.
installment. The first one, diba? The first one was a draw. The second one
Mhm.
was Tyson
mm,
Fury, and then this one, it was all for all the marbles. So let's get
Mhm.
into the preparation. Yeah, let's get into the preparation. So based on what you saw on their camp, what they posted on social media, the demeanor of this fighter. So let's start with John, and then we'll go to JC. John, when it comes to preparation, how did you see both camps preparing coming into this third installment of the trilogy?
for me, very noticeable yung change na ginawa ni Wilder, first of all. Kasi he fired his coach, si
Mm-hmm.
Breland. Kasi I think they had an argument regarding the stoppage nung second fight.
Mm.
So among other things, isa yun sa pinaka-issue nila. And Wilder hired itong si Malik Scott
Yeah.
to improve his game. But Wilder is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 35 eh. And ang approach nila parang you're trying to teach an old dog new tricks.
Mhm.
Alam naman natin si Wilder really lacks yung fundamentals, yung movement, head movement, footwork. He really relies so much on his power. Kaya itong sa training camp nila, makita mo like maraming shots to the body, maraming setups, but sobrang konti ng oras for him to be able to use that very in a fluid manner. Kasi napansin natin during the fight, pag nagkakagipitan na, bumabalik siya dun sa instincts niya, which is to, just throw that right hand. Ganon. But as far as the preparation goes, we only see what they want us to see eh. So I don't really think that gives the full picture, but mukha naman nag-prepare si Wilder, but parang kinulang siya sa hangin eh. Wala siyang legs eh. So I think sana yun sana yun ang hindi ko nakita eh. Parang hindi siya nag-road work eh. Kay Fury naman, he's being trained by si Jorge Capetillo and among others, no, kasi tinulungan din siya noon. And actually si Fury is still the same. Yung pinagkaiba lang dito, I think he's more confident now. I don't think he did any drastic mga training methods during training camp. Kasi basa na niya si Wilder eh. So he just has to show up and be Fury. Ganon. But that's not the case with Wilder. So hindi naman ako na-surprise kung if it seemed like it was a regular training camp for Fury.
JC. Nako, nag-freeze ata si JC. Ayan,
Yeah,
JC.
so let me start off by saying na si Deontay Wilder katulad. So let me just start off by saying na si Deontay Wilder, it looks like simula anong first fight nila hanggang ngayon, hindi talaga siya he skips leg day.
Ano ka ba?
6'7",
Nakita mo ba, di ba?
parang
Nag
legs
300-pound bench, di ba?
Yun nga eh, baka kaya rin siya humihina lalo eh. Kasi, I mean, ganong bigat ng katawan niya, ganong weight ang binubuhat, tapos ganon yung legs niya. It affects everything in your game sa boxing pagka ganon eh. Kaya nga, part of your training is you improve your leg strength kasi, di ba, mostly, technically, your power comes from your legs eh. Pag bumabato ka ng suntok. Wilder, he lives up to his name. Dito nga sa laban na to, he's not Deontay Wilder, he's Deontay Wildest. Kasi nga, I guess he tried to improve his game, pero yun nga, tama si attorney, kulang yung preparation. Kasi pinilit niya rin tong laban na to. I mean, it was supposed to be Fury versus Joshua. Tapos, nagsampa siya ng case to insist that he had to get the rematch kasi akala niya he has enough time to prepare for Fury para makabawi. Which, at some point, mukhang muntik na. Pero, knowing Fury, nakita nga natin, round 3 pa lang, nagulat ako, parang kinakapos na ng hininga si Wilder. Sabi ko, parang kulang ata ng preparation talaga tong isang to. Tapos nung round 4, nagulat ako. He knocked Fury down twice.
Right.
Kinabahan ako para kay Fury. Pero naisip ko, it was all part of Fury's game plan eh. Kasi from the first 3 rounds, he was playing with Wilder. Yung pinapababa niya yung confidence niya by taunting him a lot dun sa loob ng ring eh. Then, come round 4, bumagsak na nga siya I guess, naisip niya na he should do lesser taunting and take the fight more seriously. And yun na nga nangyayari. Wilder could barely do anything much kay Fury. I mean, And we saw what
Ayan,
happened
dyan
in
natin makikita ngayon sa, I mean, this is when we break things down, when we break, it has been the pattern, it has been the
Mhm,
whole concept behind the show. We want to educate people and show you that when it comes to a fight, there's preparation to this. It's not just,
mhm,
yeah, magte-training yung fighter, magte-training sila.
mhm,
No, there has to be a system behind it. There has to be
mhm,
purpose. There has to be, 'di ba? Diyan papasok ngayon yung behind the scenes team mo, 'di ba? It's your
mhm,
coaches, it's your strength and conditioning, your nutrition, 'di ba? These are so many things that factor in during the camp that will allow you to perform really really well when it comes to fight night. So we will get to the fight night details later, pero when it comes to preparation, Deontay Wilder bulked up. He focused a
mhm,
lot on building muscle kasi nga he learned from the previous fight na Tyson Fury was going to lean on him. He was prepared for that. Actually, we'll dive into the details of that, the meta details of that one later on. Pero yun nga, he bulked up, he got stronger in order to sustain and maintain his power during the entire
mhm.
fight. Kasi nga, he also knew that probably Tyson Fury would employ the same tactic na he
Right.
would stick and jab, stick and move,
Mhm,
'di ba? During a clinch situation, he's gonna lean his weight on him.
mhm,
So it was a good strategy. Now, when it comes to bulking up, or if you want to increase your strength, that's the I mean, di ko alam eh. These are multi-million dollar athletes eh, di ba?
yun nga,
So,
eh.
tsaka it has been a staple in boxing. Road work is essential. Di ba?
Mm.
Road work is essential. It's been the staple ever since. I mean, hindi mo na kailangan ng hindi mo na kailangan ng scientific backing diyan, di ba? So, I totally agree with what JC said. Parang halfway through the match, parang nakikita ko medyo nagfe-fade na ng konti si
Mhm,
Deontay Wilder. Parang puso na lang talaga nagdadala sa
That's
kanya eh.
right.
Talagang will na lang. It's just his warrior spirit. It's just him, yun na yung nag-translate sa kanya. So they focus more on
mhm,
the power, 'di ba? Power, sustaining, defense, and whatever it is that they were doing during camp. Nakalimutan nila to do road work. Um, on Tyson Fury's corner naman, he knew that it was an effective strategy. So what
mhm.
did he do? He bulked up even more, 'di ba? He gained more weight, 'di ba? Pero it
Grabe.
was a very systematic way of adding weight kasi it didn't compromise his performance. He could still move. He was agile. Um, pero it also played the factor in the middle towards the late rounds. But again, these are two high level or probably elite heavyweights that gave us a good show. They gave us a great show. So coming into fight night, very good entrances as always, 'di ba? Sobrang hindi ko lang alam kung ano yung bigat ng costume ni Deontay Wilder na sana naman di niya nasisihin 'yon. Pero just to what JC said
Mas
kanina, 'di
magaan na
ba?
daw ngayon.
No,
Mm.
for everyone who is aspiring, okay, or who are active fighters, coaches, the power of a punch emanates from the ground up. Okay, kung wala pang nagsasabi sa inyo, ito yun, ha? The
Mhm,
power of a punch emanates from the ground up. So it starts with your legs. So if you don't have, di ba, kung wala kang leg power, it doesn't translate to your core, it doesn't translate to your arms, it doesn't
mhm,
translate to so minsan talaga God-given talent na lang talaga para sa akin yung punching power ni Deontay Wilder eh. Kasi parang he learned it late in the game, and then feeling ko talaga a lot of the perseverance and the hard training na lang talaga nag-develop sa kanya, but again to what John said, the fundamentals was not there. 'Di ba?
Right.
It wasn't there. So let's get into the fight itself, 'di ba? Yung ano na talaga, laban na mismo. So let's go, John, and then let's go, JC. John, what were your thoughts? Like opening bell down to 11th round.
So coming into the fight, the first thing that you'd notice is the size of both fighters. Pero
Mhm.
for me, mas sanay si Fury na sa ganung weight than for Deontay Wilder. We also know that if you add more muscle, it would require also na you would require more oxygen. And nakita natin yung dito kasi during the third round, after Deontay was knocked down, parang he was already out of it eh. But early in the fight, ang hindi ko nagustuhan, hindi niya pinagpatuloy jabs niya to the body. Kung mapansin mo during the first round, I don't know kung hanggang second round, but during the first round, very noticeable, he was throwing jabs to the body. And medyo matagal mag-recover si Fury after that jab. And we all know Deontay's punch is the right hand, but nung siniswitch up niya and binibigyan niya ng ibang looks, it gives more opportunity for that straight right eh. Kaya nga, kahit pa paano, yung rhythm ni Fury medyo na-disrupt nung jabs na yun eh. But then again, after he got knocked down, medyo back to the old Deontay na naman siya. And surprisingly, actually hindi nga surprisingly, but he looked gassed. He looked out of it. He was fighting on instinct na. Kaya when Fury saw that, wala na yung respeto niya dun sa punching power. He was in front of Wilder. Wilder was not slipping punches. He wasn't blocking punches as much. And he was really a sitting duck. Napag-usapan nila during the pre-fight build-up that, well, sabi ni Deontay, you don't have punching power, you can't knock me out. Diba? Yan ang laging sinasabi. But then,
that's true.
Napakita rin naman ni Wilder na he has heart, no? But yung bumigay talaga sa kanya yung stamina niya eh. Out of exhaustion yung the reason why he got knocked out was because he was exhausted. Hindi na niya mataas yung kamay niya to block it eh. He was leaning on Wilder. He was holding the ropes with his left hand. And kaya it was very easy for Fury to throw that yung hook. Medyo wide pa nga yun eh, pero wala na siya eh. He was really out. So when it happened during the 11th, it was just a matter of time. Kasi wala na siyang legs. Mapapansin mo, during the middle rounds up to the 10th, nagbubuhol-buhol na yung legs ni Wilder eh. Mahabol na yung left dun sa right. When he backs up, nagbubuhol na yung feet niya eh. If may stamina ka and if you still have legs, alam mo eh. Diba? If you're gonna go back, retreat ka, right foot first, if you're an orthodox, left foot second. Yung sa kanya, nagsasabay na yung left and right because wala na eh.
Nagka-criss-cross na siya.
Nagka-criss-cross na siya eh. So that's how you know he's really dragging his feet. So, siguro that goes to show na preparation matters. Cardio is very important in boxing. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So, kailangan mo talaga to be prepared for a long and a long fight. This is 36 minutes of boxing and you're at elite level. You don't expect guys to work out just to prepare for 6 rounds, 8 rounds. You have to be ready for 12 rounds.
JC, when you were trying to break this down, and was it like what were the differences between the second fight and this third fight?
For this fight, mas lalong nasa utak ni Wilder si Fury. Lalo siyang kinain nung loss niya. That affected his game a lot. Kasi nga, isip mo ang aga niya nawala sa game plan niya. I mean, yung point niya, Tony, kanina na yung body shots. Akala ko he was going to do that all throughout. Ang ganda na nung ginagawa niya talaga eh. I mean,
yun nga eh. Nagtataka nga rin ako na parang okay na eh. Diba? Ang ganda no. Diba? Body shot ka nga. Shout out to our previous guest, si Tito Rico Robles, who probably broke it down really, really well as well. Na sinabi nga niya, diba? If he's backing up, diba? If he's packing some meat, diba? And he's drinking a lot of diet soda, diba? Jam him in the body. And feeling ko, so nakinig ba si Tito Deontay doon? Na parang sinabi niya, okay na suggestion yun, gawin ko nga yun. Diba? So he was doing that. Sige, JC, continue.
Yeah, and yun nga, so sa fight nila, obviously, we all know Fury has a 2 feet height advantage kay Wilder. 2 or 3 yata, parang ganon. And then sa weight, ang laki talaga ni ano no? Ni Fury. They had like an 18-pound weight difference. He knew na sa tangkad niya, sa lapad niya, mas kaya niyang i-bully si Wilder, which was what was his game plan sa sa second fight.
Mm.
He bulked up, pero dito nga for some reason mas mabigat siya, pero medyo mas yung katawan niya mas naging tight which is interesting. I mean, parang nag-bulk up ba siya on muscle for this fight? I mean, he knew his game plan was to try to get into Wilder's head more, pero at the same time make sure na hindi siya madadala ni Wilder doon sa wild punches, sa power punches niya. And ayun, round per round, unti-unting nauubos yung hangin ni Wilder, like a balloon that continually deflating. Yun yung nakita ko all throughout Parang meron niyang round doon, feeling ko parang second wind na ni Wilder. Kaya yung round 11 talagang tumirik na siya
Oo. Sama nun. Ang sama nun talaga. As in, ang pinaka, the main takeaway for everything was a huge factor yung weight difference. The 18 pounds na difference between Wilder and Tyson Fury played huge when the fight got dragged on beyond the 5th round. And I mean, to Deontay Wilder's credit, medyo there was a lot of improvement when it comes to handling the clinches, kasi he didn't just allow Tyson Fury to lean on him against the ropes.
Yep.
You would see a lot of instances wherein Deontay Wilder was using double underhooks. He was dragging the gloves down. He was pushing Tyson Fury to the side. He was moving towards the side. Yun nga lang talaga kasi ang lapad talaga ni Tyson Fury, na it was hard to navigate with that width. 'Di ba yung lapad ni Tyson Fury, ang hirap igalaw nun Tapos so he had to push him away, but at the same time he needed to move around. So just like what we previously discussed when we started breaking down this fight, na that size difference is going to play a factor should the fight go beyond 5 rounds, to which it did. Now, maganda yung performance ni Deontay Wilder dahil he was very systematic about it in the early rounds. I do not understand as well why he didn't keep going to the body. Feeling ko talaga, siguro feeling niya, sinapak niya yung bilbil, parang, ano ba to? Wala ba to? Di parang, ano yan it's the headhunters mentality
Yeah.
oo.
Feeling niya walang effect
Oo, di ba? Kasi
Yung feeling niya
Yeah, so Wilder, Rampage Jackson, 'di ba? Yan yung mga headhunters na parang they're so confident with their knockout power. They're so used to knocking out people and winning in devastating fashion, na when it comes to fighting people that could withstand the pressure, that could withstand the power and the use, na parang nagugulat sila, 'di ba? So hindi bukod dun sa gulat, naiinis sila. Na but why isn't it working, 'di ba?
Right.
Kaya nga, 'di ba, ang initial reaction niya, like coming into the next fight, I'm gonna get stronger. 'Di ba? Yun kagad yung solution niya, 'di ba? So I'm gonna fire my coach because he threw in the towel. I'm gonna get a new one. Then the first thing I'll do is get stronger. 'Di ba? So it paid dividends because he was able to handle the weight, but at the same time, more muscle means lesser recovery time, 'di ba? Kasi nga, yan, tulad ng sinabi ni John, ano yan it takes more oxygen to replenish and recover the muscles in that particular area, especially now. Yun din yung problema. Kung kailan nag-camp, doon lang siya nagbuhat. Right. Diba? Dapat yung mga ganyang bagay, gagawin mo yan off-season. Oo. Diba? So, kumbaga, biglaan yan. So, your body now doesn't know. Your body's kind of confused. So, for fighters, coaches who are watching this, diba? As much as possible, that's why, for example, ako, when I design a particular camp, it's a 2 to 3 month camp, And prior to the camp, merong off-season camp wherein you're gonna do whatever it is that you need to do in order to, to either speed up, di ba, build your agility, get stronger. Lahat gagawin mo yan off-season. Okay? Lahat ng physical attribute improvements off-season. Para when camp, okay, so that when you start camp or when you start training for the fight, ang focus natin is to train for the fight. Hindi yung magano ka, magbuhat ka dyan, magpalakas ka, medyo
Parang
nawala
siya
sa
nag-cramp
focus.
Oo.
Oo, nag-cramp
He
talaga
crammed.
yan. Diba? So he was able to do that. One thing that's very noticeable is when it comes to heavyweights talaga, it's the jab straight. It's
Yeah.
the battle of the jab straights eh. Diba? It's the battle of the jab straights. Both of these fighters on each other's heads. They
Mhm.
both wanna embarrass each other, diba? So Deontay Wilder wants to redeem himself. Si Tyson Fury naman, he wants to embarrass Deontay Wilder
Yes.
furthermore. So, syempre, I mean, they don't want to take a gamble as much as possible. That you don't want to take too much of a gamble kasi tulad nga ng sinabi ni JC, masyado naging cocky si Tyson Fury, he
Mhm.
paid for
Yeah.
it, 'di ba? He got knocked down twice. And then he went back to his boxing. Then could just imagine, 'di ba? So side question to both of my co-hosts here. What if Deontay Wilder decided to improve his boxing, to improve alam mo yun, instead of becoming just a knockout artist, why doesn't he become just, 'di ba, or improve his boxing skills? 'Di ba? That would have made a huge difference.
For
Kasi for
sure.
me to beat a Tyson Fury, you don't clash heads with him. You outsmart him, you outwit
Mm.
him. Like for example, let's go with JC. JC had Wilder done alam mo yun, improvements in his boxing skills, what would be a good strategy? Diba? Sabihin natin in a pure boxing sense, what would be a good strategy for Deontay Wilder to win this fight?
Uh, well, unang-una, although mas matangkad si Fury, he should know how to control yung range eh. Kasi nga,
Mm.
clinch si Fury, if he knew how to control the range, hindi makakapag-clinch masyado sa Fury. And then kung ano man yung game plan niya, which mukhang yung body shots talaga to try to wear Fury down, magagawa niya ng maayos. Kaya lang, pasok siya ng pasok. In turn, si Fury naman, nakakapag-clinch and then mas nakakapagpasok ng mas malilitis na shots knowing Fury is longer so he could do more damage pag mas dikitan sila.
Mm. So John, ikaw naman, do you find the same assessment or what could we put in there na pwedeng? Kasi clearly
Yeah.
Deontay is gonna be the smaller fighter. So if
Yeah.
you're the smaller fighter going up against someone who's gonna be 18 pounds heavier than you, what would be a good approach for that one?
So, in a perfect world na si Deontay Wilder is a good boxer, I mean, as a technical boxer, to be specific, uh, Fury is the bigger guy. And kung mapapansin natin, Fury always clinches.
Yeah.
But walang inside game si Deontay eh. He should have, learned how to punch in the inside ng mga body punches, uppercuts. Kung mapapansin mo, he never took advantage of yung close combat eh. If anything, susuntok siya sa belly, rabbit punch, but nothing substantial and nothing that he practiced in camp. So, sana gumanda yung infighting niya and for him to offer different looks. Kasi nga, nasanay nga siya na every time susuntok siya, may reaction siya nakukuha from the opponent eh. Hindi niya alam yung going to the body will pay dividends later on. It's not gonna show right away. It's not gonna take effect right away unless you really hit him sa liver or, sa solar plexus. But you really have to be patient. And it's something that is missing from Deontay, yung disiplina. I think he needs to hire someone he respects. Kasi peer niya to si Malik Scott eh. For sure, yes man lang to diba, ang dating niya. So, he needs someone he respects, he looks up to, para bigyan siya ng proper program. Hindi yung parang, sige, train tayo bukas. Ay, hindi ko gusto eh. I'm sure, pag sinabi niya, ayoko mag-train coach eh. Di wala. Kasi, like, he doesn't respect the guy in as much as he respects probably before si Mark Breland, diba? So I think he needs a new team if it's not too late. He's 35. Tingnan natin kung ano pang pwede niyang baguhin, but he really needs a new team.
Yeah, I agree. Tsaka ano talaga, this is where the role of a coach is very crucial, especially for fighters who are already rich. Kasi when you're winning and you're rich, and diba, there's so many yes man that's populating your inner circle. So dami ng rara boys dyan, ang dami yung puro yes boss dyan. Wala nang nagbibigay sa'yo ng direksyon, wala nang nagagalit sa'yo, wala nang nagsisermon sa'yo.
Right.
If you're a fighter, kailangan mo yun eh. Everyone who's watching, put it in the comment section. Let's see. Ano yung insights nyo? What could have, di ba, ano ba yung pwedeng gawin ni Deontay Wilder? Di ba, sabihin na natin magkaroon ng pang-apat na laban. Like for example, kasi maliliit lang, iilan lang silang nasa top level ng ano dyan eh, ng heavyweight division eh, di ba?
Yun nga eh.
Hindi naman yan hindi naman yan parang it's Joshua, Usyk, 'di ba? Sino pa ba? Then
Si Dylan White.
'di ba?
Yeah.
Yung
Sora.
more or less mag-iikutan yan, 'di ba?
Sila lang talaga.
Sila magano diyan, like sila Ruiz, yan, 'di ba? So these are more or less their paths will cross definitely. So please let us know what do you think. And ako naman kasi what made Fury win is just diba, he utilized his size, he utilized his reach, and then what really made a huge impact was that overhand right. Diba, every time that Wilder would punch within the center line, laging meron ng nakuha na ni Wilder yung timing, nakuha na ni Fury yung timing na yon. Every time jab or papasok ng isang kanan, merong overhand right na nakasunod eh, 'di ba? Kaya nga basag yung tenga ni Deontay
Wala
Wilder.
kasi siyang head movement eh.
Wala.
Waring head movement, 'di ba? So again, we go back to the fundamentals. I will echo the same sentiment of infighting. Kung sino pa yung mas matangkad, yun pa yung mas maganda yung infighting. Bakit ba nahuli ng, 'di ba? Ba't ba nahuli ng right hook si Deontay Wilder?
Doon yun eh, sa clinch yun eh.
Oh, 'di ba? Because within the clinch, Tyson Fury peppered him with uppercuts, 'di ba? So parang napansin ni Tyson Fury, okay, this guy is creating separation, okay? Napapansin niya na, okay, alam na ni Deontay na na magli-lean in ako sa kanya, na bibigay ko yung bigat ko sa kanya. Agawin ko ngayon, the moment na tumulak siya sa akin, bato ko ng uppercut ngayon. Ilang beses niya nahuli si doon? Ilang beses niya nahuli si Deontay Wilder doon? 'Di ba? There's so many instances there. And ano siya eh, parang yung corner din naman ni Deontay, dapat napansinan nila 'yon eh.
Tsaka
diba, dapat napansin nila eh.
Hindi ko na-get sa corner hindi ko na-get sa corner ni Deontay Wilder is why he got Malik Scott as a coach. He defeated Malik Scott
exactly.
in under 2 minutes nung naglaban sila. Hindi ganun klaseng kalaban kukunin mong coach.
Yeah.
Diba?
May
What
big
the hell,
question
diba?
mark
What
with
the
the part
hell?
na yun eh.
Diba? It's ang labo
At
niya.
least
Medyo
kung coach yung
naggulo ako
tumalo
doon.
sa'yo before. Pero baliktad.
Baliktad.
Diba? It's totally different from what is totally different from what is given. Ano ba yung nangyayari, 'di ba? Parang nga lang, ba't ka naman kukuha ng tawag dito ng coach na tinalo mo ng in under 2
Obviously, hindi
minutes.
kabisado ni
Labo nun
ni Malik Scott yung galaw ni Deontay, kaya natalo siya ni Deontay. Tapos kukunin mo pa siya.
Di ba?
Parang ibigay na natin yung benefit of the doubt. Baka mas magaling siya magturo than to do it. But
pwede rin.
Di ba? Pwede may ganun eh. But hindi kasi proven pa si Malik Scott na to coach in that level eh. Na ganung ka elite heavyweight championship, 'di ba? Lineal. So wala pa siya napatunayan as far as coaching goes eh. So it really didn't make sense.
Saka siya, tawag dito parang parang revenge in mind lagi si Deontay. Parang yun niya, parang I have revenge in my mind.
Mali yung motivation nila eh.
Ito yun, di ba? Kasi if you're the smaller fighter, 'di ba? And you're the more compact fighter, 'di ba? Alam mo na kaagad na mabagal si Tyson Fury.
Mm.
Alam mo na 'yon. Alam mo na na mabagal siya. Alam mo rin na mas mabilis ka.
Mm.
So, and you saw how Alexander Usyk demolished Anthony Joshua.
Right.
'Di ba?
Mm.
He could have 'di ba? He could have watched that fight, 'di ba? He could have
Uh,
learned from that fight. And he could have applied a few of the tips and a few of the tricks ni Usyk doon para sa ano na 'yon. So, it comes with the study, it comes with the then a lot of the things that was, I don't want to say controversial, but a lot of the observation was in both instances wherein Tyson Fury was down, mabagal daw yung bilang.
mabagal.
Bagal, di ba? So let's go with John, then let's go with JC. What are your thoughts?
Ang napansin ko doon, hindi lang siya mabagal, nag-stop siya ng bilang. Usually, when a referee starts to count and hindi niya naumpisahan yung bilang for some reason, titingin siya dun sa official sa sideline to catch kung pang ilan na yung bilang and then itutuloy niya. So, ang nangyari dito, nagbilang siya ng 1, 2, 3 and then na-stop siya. Tapos, tinuloy niya ng 4 ulit pero after a few seconds. Dapat tiningnan niya yung official para nasundan niya yung counting, hindi yung parang nag-pause siya eh. So, although I didn't think it was a factor, pero it was just unusual for me na gano'n yung ginawa niya. Parang it was just parang amateurish kung hindi man in bad faith.
JC?
Well, yeah. Sabi nga nila, malaking issue yan lalo na sa mga groups ngayon, yung mabagal nga daw yung count. Even sa previous fight nila, nangyari din yan na ang bagal daw ng count kay Fury nung referee. Although may isang interesting point nga yung isang kaibigan nating boxing coach na based in Thailand, si Coach JR Crisologo, who was part of the a Pinoy who was part of the Thailand national boxing team a few years ago. His point nga daw is that in his 14 years as a boxing coach, ang alam niya talaga is that yung 10 yung count is na 1 to 10 is not based on 10 seconds. It's based on how the referee counts. Kaya lang yun nga, medyo may kabagalan nga talaga in some points yung bilang. Pero yun nga, that's something na I think hindi alam ng marami, na yung count is not based on time but based on how the referee counts.
So, so these are very, very valid and true and factual and interesting points. So,
yun nga lang, medyo dragging kasi talaga yung dating pag mabagal yung bilang.
Para the next time you watch a boxing match, because I've seen so many videos, may mga breakdown pa na para kung ano-ano pa. Sabi pa nila, yung iba umabot daw ng 15 seconds, yung iba past 15 seconds, bakit bakit ganito, ganyan. So, ako my take on this based on how I understand the rule set and based on refereeing fights is before anything else, we would like to greet everyone who's watching and listening to all of us.
Yes.
Major shout out to the lovely people of La Union. Okay, everyone there. Okay, everyone in La Union. It's like our second home. The guys over there at Flotsam and Jetsam, 55 Tinta. Okay, Scallywags R&D, Baba Cucina. I mean, when you go to Great Northwest, it's this spot in LU na it's like a overboard, parang 2 floors siya eh. So it's overlooking the sea, sobrang steady place to chill and sobrang sarap kumain doon. So yan, nandun yan, magkakatabi yan. So it's Scallywags, Baba Cucina, and then nandun din pag gusto nyo magpatato, you go to 55 Tinta, 'di ba? Major shout out to Gab and to Kaka, yung mga an our La Union family, sila JR nandun, Jose, Prof. Joel Yaptinchay, yan, mga sumasurfer lifestyle dyan. Okay. JC, sino yung shoutout mo?
Shoutout natin si Papi Dynamite Weekend.
Ayan!
Yan.
Kailangan yan.
Mga kaibigan natin yan. Sino pa ba? Yung A Plus Sports ni Coach Ruel uh, Abaw.
Ay, nako.
Yung
Si Coach Rowell pa.
grabe yan.
Quality gear,
Yeah.
baby.
Hindi lang alam ng marami, pero yung A Plus Sports is something that a lot of our pro boxers wear. So
Mm.
when they trust that kind of brand, it's good. And of course, yung Iron Bunny Philippines ni Ricky Enriquez, based in Cebu, pero even yung fighters dito sa Manila, he supports them a lot. MMA, I think he's supporting some in boxing too.
Mm-hmm.
And sino pa ba? Yung mga kaibigan natin sa mga groups like Bolo Punch Boxing Forum,
Yeah.
Pinoy
Shout out
Boxing
to Bolo
Enthusiast,
Punch.
Pinoy
Yan.
Boxing Addicts, Boxing Philippines. Sino pa ba mga groups
Si
natin?
Philippine
MMA
Boxing
Philippines.
Enthusiast. Sino pa ba yung mga part tayo na groups? Diba? Siyempre, we
Dami,
got
no?
Mr. PH Boxing Corner here.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
John, who would you like to... Sino yung gusto mong dyan? Batiin natin dyan.
Batiin muna natin si JC Man ng Kill of Sandman Boxing. Thank you for the shirt.
JC!
Nice.
JC!
Bibisita tayo dyan. I think they'll be hosting an event
Yes.
October 29.
Nice.
Napapabati rin kaibigan natin si Mark Bariga. Lalaban daw siya
Oh.
soon.
Yeah!
Oo nga, parang this
abangan
Ayan,
month.
natin
nag-ensayo yan si Mark ngayon.
Yan science si Mark. Kondisyon na daw siya eh. So, panoorin natin yung The Return of
The
Mark
return
Bariga.
of Bariga.
Ayun, binabati ko rin yung mga friends natin dyan, barkada ko sa college, A-team. Pati sa family ko kung nanonood sila.
Yeah! Tsaka syempre ako, bago ko pa makalimutan, one of the key pioneers and pillars of Philippine MMA right now, si Mr. Aaron Catunaw. Lagi ko nakakalimutan. I mean, ako, my bad yon, my bad. That's my bad. Di ba? Tawag dito, it's akala ko kasi na-mention ko siya, bigla naalala ko, hindi pa pala. Sabi ko,
Aaron and
grabe
Ron,
naman.
no?
Di ba? Mr. Aaron Catunaw.
Tunaw Brothers.
Making things happen in the local combat sport scene. Of course, everyone's watching and listening to us right
Yeah.
now.
At mga
Tsaka yan,
kaibigan
eto.
namin hindi nababanggit.
Si Franco Serafica, di ba?
What's up, Franco?
Yeah, enjoying the show, di ba? Di ba? Si Clendon Pabustan is still watching us while he's jogging. So,
Meron
sinabi
palang
ko to
question
kanina,
dito.
sabi ni Mix.
Kanina, no?
Di ba? Tapos may question si So Arvin Sevilla is asking, hindi po ba bawal yung pag-clinch sa ulo then susuntukin? Ang bawal lang naman suntukin is yung likod ng ulo.
Back
So
of the
you
head.
can't
Rabbit
hit back of the head.
punches.
Oh,
Yeah.
so any punch within the clinch and outside the
Yes.
clinch is very legal. Now, going back to the topic at hand, I will add to what my co-hosts here have said. If you are the referee, you are the arbiter sa laban. So yung interpretation ng rules is depende sa iyo. Yun ang responsibility and power ng isang referee, especially when it comes to boxing. So yung ang normal na bilang talaga is 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. Yun yung normal na bilang. When it comes to boxing, since yung sa referee nagdedepende ang bilang, pwede niyang sabihing 1 2, 'di ba? So syempre pag masyado namang mahaba, masyado nang hawa, masyado namang, 'di ba? Medyo halata na nandadaya 'yon. Now, let's get to what happened during that fight. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of the referee. You're a small referee, 'di ba? Taking care of two giants. So syempre,
Ang hirap.
you're not just ang hirap noon, 'di ba? So, di ba? So, sabihin na natin, everything's gonna be subjective. This is the main event of the evening. Di ba? World titles on the line, millions of dollars on the line. You are this tiny guy inside the boxing ring, di ba? Handling two giants. So the pressure is there. Di ba? The pressure is there. Number 2, when someone gets knocked down in boxing, okay? When someone gets knocked down in a match in boxing, okay, ang instruction, okay, if merong revisions, if there are any interjections, put them in the comment section para malaman natin. pag may na-knockdown sa boxing, first things first, ang sasabihin ni referee dun sa nakasuntok or yung nakatayo na fighter is go to a neutral corner.
Correct.
Ito yung sasabihin niya, kaya makikita nyo, sasabihin ng referee, neutral corner. Hindi ka pupunta sa corner mo. Kasi maraming pwedeng mangyari doon. Pwede kang uminom ng tubig, pwede kang bigyan ng instructions, di ba?
Yeah.
Pwede kang, lahat ng pwedeng mangyari. Still, dahil nandun ka sa corner mo. So when you say neutral corner, titingin ka sa boxing ring kung ano yung color white. More often than not, the neutral corner is color white. Yun yung mga poste na kulay puti. So, they will tell you to go to neutral corner. The moment the moment na nakita ng referee na nasa neutral corner ka, babalik siya dun sa bumagsak, dun niya bibilangan 1, 'di ba? 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4. Ang nangyari din kasi dun sa laban, the way I saw it was Tyson Fury went down, 'di ba? So, if you're the referee, you are in T-Mobile Arena, 'di ba? You have to focus your attention on refereeing the fight, and at the same time, when you count, kailangan marinig nung fighter. Kaya mahaba. Kaya sinasabi niya, 1! Kasi sumisigaw siya. Okay? Sumisigaw siya kasi kailangan behind the noise of the crowd and the cheering and the jeering, kailangan marinig yung boses mo nung fighter. Kaya sumisigaw siya, 1, 2, 3. Then, here comes Deontay Wilder. Gumagalaw siya. Naglalakad siya. He was pacing. So, nawala rin siguro sa wishing referee. Sinabi niya dun kay Deontay, hey, go back to the neutral corner. Balik siya kay Tyson Fury. Tinuloy niya yung bilang. So, mga mahaba talaga. So, ang haba talaga. So this is in no way, shape, or form to criticize the referee. This is to educate people na mahirap mag-referee. Okay? Ang hirap maging referee, lalo na sa ganong klaseng environment, 'di ba? Na you have to maintain control nung laban. Kailangan mo ring siguraduhin na susundin ng mga fighters yung authority mo. Tapos kailangan pag may bumagsak, maririnig niya yung bilang mo. Which I think, feeling ko, mahirap yun. Kasi, yung gano'ng sigawan, hindi ka na maririnig nun.
Yeah.
So it was, I mean, in my experience and in my opinion, I agree with my co-host, it was a long count, okay? It was a long count. And it allowed Tyson Fury to recover. Okay? Kasi kahit na paano, extra 5 seconds pa rin yun. And at the same time, yung pangalawa, tama ba yung pangalawa? Medyo malapit na sa end of the round yun eh. Parang after a few, nag-ring na yung bell.
Yun yung mas controversial kasi parang pa less than 10 seconds na lang yata after round yun, bumabagal yung bilang ng referee. Parang na-save by the bell patuloy na ang dating ni Tyson Fury doon.
That is true. Kasi parang 'di ba? Parang ano lang din eh. Hindi mo maiwasan din 'yun eh. Kasi nakatulong talaga 'yun eh.
Yeah.
'Di ba? So an extra 5 seconds, tapos when you go back to your corner, it adds up to the rest time na nakuha mo. So naka-recover ka na, tapos yung momentum medyo nawala kay Deontay Wilder. Si Deontay Wilder din naman kasi, he was just looking for the knockout punch eh. Diba? He wasn't really trying to break down Tyson Fury. Wala. It was the battle of the jab straights. It was the battle of the jab straights and the overhand rights. Diba? So, I mean, coming out of this fight, who could be possible matchups? Let's start with John, then let's go with JC. Like, who are your heavyweight division? Who are you looking forward to see? Kasi ang sigurado na next would be Usyk versus Joshua, the rematch.
Yes.
Kasi parang they exercised their rights.
They already exercised the rematch clause eh. Kung for Wilder, I think he needs a tune-up fight. Hindi niya muna, for me, wag na muna siya magmadali na to fight the top 5. He needs to get his confidence back. He needs to get more rounds in. Siguro he's 35 eh, medyo late na in his career, but kaya niya pa mag-champion ulit. But sana wag niya madali ulit na bumalik the way he rushed into this trilogy. Kasi um, matagal pa eh. After nitong Joshua Usyk, most likely Fury will fight the next.
Mhm.
Mm.
And he has options. Si Andy Ruiz is there. Um, sino pa ba? Chisora is there.
Mm.
Dylan White is there. Something, basta he needs to get his mojo back.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sobrang baba ng moral niya ngayon eh. So,
So, ano yan? So, what else can you add to that, JC?
Uh, nakita nga natin, di ba, post-fight, Tyson Fury even shared na he approached Deontay Wilder as a gentleman. Congratulate and everything. Tapos
Mm-mm.
biglang si Deontay Wilder, I cannot respect you. Parang ganun. Disrespect niya palalo. I mean, hindi ko gets yun. I mean, talo ko na talaga, wala ka na magagawa dun eh. And yun ka, ngayon pa may lumabas na reports na apparently during the fight, Deontay Wilder broke a finger and broke his hand din. Hindi ko alam kung aling kamay, pero I don't know if si Malik Scott nagsabi, so I guess it could be a valid excuse. I don't know, pero hindi pa rin nagsasalita si Deontay Wilder about it. And I think I'd agree dapat I think dapat mag-take time off muna si Wilder for a good few months. Mag-isip muna siya to reassess things, kung dapat bang si Malik Scott ang continue niya maging trainer or mag-sorry siya sa dati niyang coach.
right.
Make amends, and kasi dati niyang coach ang mas may kilala sa kanya eh. You don't just flip the switch and call another person to be your coach, lalo na sa fight of this magnitude, sa level ng fighting na ganito. I mean, lalo na kung yung kinuha mong coach siguro isa na sa pinaka top opponents niya in the division is you. Parang big question mark talaga yung ganon.
Right.
And as for future matchups naman, yeah, I think hopefully mangyari pa, even after this, hopefully mangyari pa rin yung Wilder versus Joshua na long overdue. I think meron pa rin naman if it happens.
For sure. US-UK yun eh.
Yeah,
So,
US-UK.
ganda pa rin rivalry eh.
Yung,
Diba? So, these are really good matchups na talagang ano natin eh, it put notice dun sa heavyweight division eh. And of course, dahil kami, we love our community, we love our audience.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be joined by Papi Dynamite. Ayan. Ayun, no? Paki-unmute ang iyong paki-unmute ang yan. What's up, Papi Dynamite? Anong haba?
Yeah, what's up, everybody?
Ayan. So how did you see the fight? Anong nakita mo? What went right for Tyson Fury? What went wrong for Deontay Wilder?
Well, first of all, I want to say it's an honor to be here, Coach Franco, Brother JC, Sir
John
Sir John from
PH Boxing Corner, baby.
Corner. So, as you all know, I'm not really a boxing analyst. I'm just an avid fan of the sport. So, thoughts on the fight, I would say, maganda yung pinakita ni Tyson Fury. Even though what I wanted to see from Deontay Wilder is his sana pinush pa niya yung jab to the body, kasi what I saw from the start is from round 1 he's really doing good with his it's not just a parang lazy jab, he's doing a thudding parang uh, straight jabs to the body with force. Pero as we all know that Tyson Fury is he's not a pushover. So talagang pinakita ni Fury na uh, from the third round, he was able to knock down Wilder with a vicious right hook dito sa left ear ni Wilder, and then followed by an uppercut na talagang alam niyo na frozy si Wilder. And then so talagang for me, who won this fight is the guy who has more heart. Pero kudos to Wilder, as you can see,
Of
na
course,
talagang pinakita niya yung effort niya that he really wants to win. Pero at the end of the day, Fury is the the king of the heavyweight division right now.
Oo,
Agreed,
medyo.
agreed.
Agreed yan. Medyo wild, medyo maganda yung it's gonna take a lot to dethrone Tyson Fury right now. Pero there are, di ba? Joshua's there, Usyk's there, Dylan White's there. So we'll see, we'll see. And then, ano po kami dito? Balik tayo ng konti sa local shores. As
Mhm.
far as I know, ako parang there are only a few notable local fights out there that's happening. So first things first, so Donaire is going to fight Gabalio, tama ba?
Yes, sir.
So he's
Yes.
gonna fight Gabalio, and then Casimero is going to fight Butler,
December
Butler.
11,
di
yeah.
ba? And there are reports na syempre Casimero's disappointed na parang he's not gonna get
Shoulder with
paid as much, di ba?
yeah.
So I'm gonna ask the three of my co-hosts here. Do you think na yung mga failed call-outs ni Casimero affected his purse in this upcoming fight? So we'll start with Papi Dynamite, well then JC, then we'll cap it off with John.
Okay, so yeah, I think na yung mga field call out ni Casemiro really affected his ano. Kasi parang I don't know if it was really his intention to be like that, or is there someone who's really just telling him na do this or do that to promote himself. At the
Mm.
end of the day, he just really wants to get the best of the best out there and to get more money and then to bring like
Mm-hmm.
more fan base to himself. Syempre,
Mm-hmm.
alam naman natin Filipino fans really love boxing, and
Mhm.
after Pacquiao, syempre, there's a lot of new names who needs to step up, 'di ba? To replace
Mm-hmm.
Manny. So, Donaire, he's somewhere like he's not past his prime pero he's getting there. And then we have new guys like Magsayo. So right now Casimero is doing his best, pero I think the way he approached it na it kind of like hurt him a bit because nawawala yung mga opportunity because of what he is doing. I hope that he'll be able to bounce back and then just try to be himself so that he'll get more fights in the future.
Ayan, good points yun. Kasi
Good point,
meron
good
kasi
point.
minsan talaga, sabi ko na
Oh,
talaga, yung mga ganyang call out na sablay, sabi ko medyo maapektuhan siya na mamaya. And isa sa mga nakakachikahan ko dyan palagi, yeah, si JC. JC, your thoughts?
Ah, bigla na lang kasi talaga nag-switch talaga niya si Casimero in the last 2-3 years eh. I mean, dati, meron na siyang angas, pero not to this level. Simula nung nakuha niya yung bantamweight title niya, nagkaganyan na. Actually, a couple of fights before niya nakuha yung title niya ata, he was starting to be like that. Became worse when he became champion. I mean, unang-una niyang ginawa is to call out si Naoya Inoue. Tapos hindi siya pinapansin. It made him look very desperate to get that fight, pero tablado pa rin siya.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos kung sino-sino na
Spanish turtle
inaaway
daw.
niya, Japanese turtle daw, tapos si Donaire, he called him a sticking fish pa, whatever that is. Ang dami niyang ginawang or hinanap na kaaway just to try to get a fight. I guess he just wanted to, to get the best fights in the division. Kaya lang, there are better ways and means to do that. Yung ginawa. Pati corner niya, inaway niya na. I mean, it got to a point na ngayon nga, hindi natin alam kung ano na nga ba talaga yung stand ng team niya with MP Promotions kasi medyo shaky yung relationship yata. Considering yung nangyari sa US nung last fight niya, nung kay Rigondo. A few days before the fight, nagkagulo na agad sa corner niya, sa team niya. And when he went back to the Philippines, lalo pang lumaki yung gulo. I mean, kung sino man ang
Ako, nawala yung audio ni JC.
I need
Brother JC.
Okay, so sige, No, ano ba? JC!
give him
Jason!
better advice.
Yan.
Kailangan bigyan ng nawawala ako. Ayun.
Nawawala. O
Ayun.
balikan natin si JC. Okay, we'll go back to
Diba?
JC. So John,
Ayan.
yung evolution of like just like what JC said, yung evolution ng character ni Casimero. So where do you see this? Is it benefiting him or someone has to tell him na parang, "Oy, relax lang muna tayo." Medyo lagyan natin ng construct, lagyan natin ng ano. Uy, nawala rin. Teka, unmute natin.
Ayan, sorry.
Ayan.
For me, he's going against the grain too much. Kasi nasanay tayo yung Filipino fans and even from locally and abroad, nasanay tayo kay Manny na very soft-spoken. And it's also parang breath of fresh air minsan si Casimero because of the antics and everything. But you need to tone it down, di ba? At times Hindi ka pwedeng full throttle all the way. Kaya he's messing up the bag Andiyan na yung pera, naging bato pa. Di ba? From 6 digits, naging 70 na lang, di ba? So, I think may oras para sa trash talk and yung manner of how he conducts himself. May oras dyan siguro, after the contract is signed, pwede mo nang gawin yan. Pero before ma-secure yung fight, you have to be very strategic about it. Kasi you have to look after your investments, you have to look after your sponsors, the promoters. Ang daming pera involved dyan And yung hindi lang image mo yung the thing that you have to protect, pati also your promoters and kahit yung kalaban mo So I think ito yung naging main issue with Donaire, na it got too personal.
Yes.
So we really can't blame Donaire for pulling out because of that issue. So wala So sayang.
So ito yan this is a lesson to aspiring fighters, current fighters, di ba? There's no harm in creating a character, di ba? If it's going to translate to access on seats, pay-per-view sales, pero yun nga dapat meron ka pa ring distinction na kailangan may timing, di ba? Hindi pwedeng since Conor McGregor is the bad guy, he's the bad guy all throughout. Hindi, there's a method to this, di ba? There's a methodology to this. Merong timing to. May pacing, may timing, and yun yung pinakamaganda sinabi ng mga co-host ko. Siguraduhin mo muna pirmado na yung kontrata bago ka magdadaldal dyan. Kasi ang hirap ang hirap. And we don't know rin if how we're going to confirm stories or the details na parang alam ko kasi dalawang management ni Casimero. He has AMP and then tama ba? Ano ba yung luma? Basta meron siya isang promotion. Tapos he signed with MP Promotions. So I don't know how they're going to arrange yung mga cut nila doon. Kasi kung if we're gonna follow a normal structure, so yung first ni Casimero, may cut yung unang management, may cut yung pangalawang management, and then he has to pay off coaches, yung expenses ng camp niya, pay off taxes, pay off management fees. Magkano na lang matitira sa kanya, di ba? Tapos considering siya yung umaakyat sa ring. So it's, a fighter's life is hard.
Siya kay Maurice East
O yun, di ba? So
na dati niyang manager.
It's a very tricky situation. So so siguro he wants to project, 'di ba? Wala ring masama doon kasi you're entertaining, you're getting people's attention, tumataas yung fan base mo. But if you're not gonna be able to book fights that will give you a lot of money, sayang, 'di ba? So at least play it well. You have to play it well. Okay?
Yeah.
So
know your limits, play it well.
Ayan. Know your limits and play it well.
Know your limits.
Okay? So that has been the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you
pala,
to go
one
JC.
thing nga pala, apparently nabalitaan natin na just a couple of days ago, sila Coach Mark Sangyaw pala got into an accident. So nasa hospital sila ngayon. Car accident Parang
damn.
They came from somewhere. Okay naman na sila, nagpapagaling na sa ospital. Yung isang kawawa is their buong family. So yung baby nila, anak nilang batang medyo mukhang traumatized dun sa incident, but hopefully the family is getting better now.
Okay, our thoughts and prayers to Coach Mark Sangyao's family. I mean, it's, 'di ba, hassle yung ganyan, pero
Yeah.
definitely our thoughts are with you. So everyone, that has been a recap of what happened in the amazing world of combat sports. Thank you so much for everyone who watched. Thank you so much for your comments. Please follow us on social media. Papi Dynamite, where can people find you? Where can they follow you? What are your pages?
Oh yeah. So can I do a shout out real quick?
Go, go, go.
So
Oh, sure, sure.
everybody, I just want to give a shout out to Arabo Nights, Recta Clothing,
Yeah.
and also Plato de Ciudad, and
Mhm.
also to a Garlic Kitchen. Most
Ito, parang
if you
masarap lahat
wanna,
yun.
oh
Lahat
guys,
Oo nga,
parang
parang
masarap.
nagutom ako bigla.
yeah, ano eh. Kaya nasira yung diet ko eh.
Oh.
Sarap ng mga foods. If you wanna check them, they have a Facebook page. And also, if you wanna check me out as well, if you wanna know more about boxing news, MMA news, or DIY home workout, aprobado ni Mrs., please check my Facebook page, which is Papi Dynamite's Weekend. And also on YouTube, I have the same name, which is Papi Dynamite's Weekend. So, yun lang po, Sir John, Brother JC, Coach Franco, thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor and a pleasure
Oh,
to be here with you guys.
always, always. Basta yung
Anytime.
mga community members namin na may sense, yan. Sasama
Yeah,
namin yan
always.
dito sa show. John, as always, thank you so
Yeah.
much for being
Thank you
here,
for
man.
having me
Appreciate
again.
you. We appreciate you. Where can people find you, John?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Just search PH Boxing Corner. That's PH Boxing Corner.
Okay, PH Boxing Corner, one of the front runners ng boxing news and information. Medyo
Mhm.
buti na lang po, magkakasabay po kami at
Insider yan.
hagila po namin
Boxing
si John
Corner.
para bago mag-skyrocket yung page niya kasi ang daming
Yes.
magagandang content.
Oo.
Okay.
PH
JC is
Boxing
on.
Corner. Yan
Oh,
ba
di
yung ano,
ba?
sir, yung the black logo?
Yes.
Yes,
Oo,
yes, yes.
oo, yan,
Ito na, sir,
yan,
lalike ko
yan.
na right now.
Yan.
Thank you, thank you.
Share natin yan, bro.
Di ba?
Yan.
Thank you, thank you.
So JC naman, JC is on TikTok. He's the fast rising breakdown artist ng TikTok, the
Oh, yeah.
JC Reyes. So look at his handle. Yan ang handle niya sa TikTok. Okay, so please follow us
Hindi
all
po ako
on social
sumasayaw doon,
media.
sorry.
Pero that's the,
Oh, wala sasayaw doon. Sa amin,
bilang nga
wala
ako dyan kay
sasayaw.
Sir JC eh. Parang ano, first, siya lang yung only guy who has a content on TikTok that is related to boxing and MMA, di ba? Grabe.
Oo.
So,
So ano yan? So
Salute.
everyone, okay? Follow all of us on social media. Thank you so
Yes.
much for tuning in, watching, commenting. Please like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we will see you next week on the next episode of Combat Sports Weekly. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.